Hello everybody and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am Jason, and tonight we've got a Division C West matchup for you. Icup versus Periloot. And we're going to be starting in just a moment. It looks like we are setting up the lobby as we speak. So while we're doing that, let's take a quick look at our map selections for the evening. We do have Cursed Hollow and Volskaya Foundry banned out for this matchup. And Periloot actually won the toss and elected to take first pick, and they're going to take us to Battlefield of Eternity. And looks like for right now, we are just about ready to get started for Game 1 on Battlefield. Should be a pretty good matchup between these two teams. Both definitely looking to get a little bit of a season turnaround here tonight. Currently, Icup at 3-10 on the season, Periloot at 6-7. So both teams riding a little bit below 500, and big win tonight could definitely make the difference as we've just now crossed the halfway point in the season. At least in terms of weeks, everybody's got kind of different levels of games right now as well. So it's a little bit hard to compare some of these matchups. But both these teams, 13 games. And just the eyeball test so far would have Periloot having an advantage, but we'll just have to see. So, of course, Battlefield of Eternity, a very unique map in Heroes of the Storm. There's definitely a lot to like about this map, but also, it's unique in its drafting. It's the only map on the circuit where you kind of expect to see. No, I don't want to sub. I just want to cast. But it's one of the only maps you'll see where PvE is prioritized, maybe even a little bit higher than hero damage, as well as all the other elements of the game, wave clear and global ability and such like that, to clear out these immortals. Deceptive, how important it can be for the macro here as well. It seems like a pretty simple, straightforward matchup in terms of how you control the macro on this two-lane map, but the little things like camp timings and when to soak and be passive versus when to attack, those things will make a big difference here on Battlefield. So be interested to see how these teams actually go about looking at those different elements and trying to see if they can get a leg up in that department. All right, we're getting some R's in. I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching our C matchup here tonight. I believe our one and only NGS match casted tonight, so quite a few holes being poked out. We're going to have the replay, the replay channel in NGS is going to get some serious love here tonight.
New follower detected.
Slexia, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. And here we go into map number 1 for the evening, Battlefield of Eternity. I call it right along with the Immortals. So it'll be interesting to see what these teams want to prioritize on bans. at this point, you were starting to get to the point of the season where teams have started to know each other a little bit better, have a better understanding of what their comfort picks are, and could definitely end up seeing some change from what the normal meta bans are. Maiev and Zeratul, always something you want to be wary of right now in the current game. And there you go. Sergeant Hammer going to be the first ban out here for Periloot. Again, not something you'd normally see banned on this map, but if it's something that Icup plays and something Periloot just does not want to deal with, that could come up in the scouting report. B-Train, hello as well. Hello, everybody. It's in tonight. B-Train throwing out all the emotes. I love it. Kael'thas going to be banned out in response. So, again, Kael'thas, not particularly great race, but very difficult to deal with. And his AoE damage, the bomb spread, can be very annoying to deal with, especially on a map like this, where there are a lot of area denials when you're if you're trying to fight under the boss, or the immortal, I should say. All those stun circles. You end up clumping accidentally as you try and dodge. And we're going to see Anna banned out. So Anna, of course, just a terror right now overall in the Nexus. And I believe Eye of the Horus is back. So got to watch out for that. That's going to make her ban worthy. Now, of course, it's worth noting that the two newly reworked heroes of Lucio and Chromie are banned out, and it's a new NGS rule this year that any heroes that get a massive rework are banned out for the 2 weeks following. So we're not gonna see those two coming out tonight, regardless of bans. they're already banned. So Anubarak gonna be banned out for Icup. Probably the strongest tank in the meta right now. Diablo would have something to say about that, but Anubarak just has been everywhere. So he's going to be thrown out, and we'll see what Periloot wants to prioritize. They're going to go to the Ariel, which is pretty interesting. There's a couple different things that Ariel pairs with. There's some good hope givers, but the first thing that pops into my mind whenever I see Ariel is Cho'Gall. So I'm going to be on alert, waiting for the two-headed monstrosity of a hero to come out here for Periloot. But we'll have to see. Diablo picked up on the other side, and Hanzo also going to be picked up. Now Vala, very good hero on this map, good burn potential, and pairs well with the Ariel. A lot of times when we've seen Vala be good in the competitive meta, it's been accompanied by a double support comp, such as an Ariel and Tassadar, Ariel and Zarya. Uther sometimes thrown into that mix as well. Having two straight healers isn't a bad thing, along with a healer and a support. But either way, Vala and Artanis picked up for Periloot, which is going to give them a pretty big boost to their immortal race. Hanzo still the highest, though not quite as far ahead as he used to be in terms of race potential, but still definitely one of the strongest race heroes in the game. Meanwhile, we are going to see Muradin banned out from Icup, as they have their tank already well in hand, so they're going to go ahead and try and apply a little bit of a tank chokehold here. I'd expect the healer chokehold in response from Periloot, but instead they're going to go to the Li Ming, so they're going to look to try and continue to corner the market on good burn heroes, which is another good call that I like. A couple different options there for the choke. She gives really good poke potential as well. The variant actually going to come out for Icup. Could this be the Windblades? I think it might be, actually, looking at their comp right now. And Tyrande going to come out as well. Of course, with that Hunter's Mark, so strong on this map. And B-Train, can I get a little something for that? I mean, I called that. I called that really hard. We're going to have Cho'Gall coming out. And I'm not even that surprised. You see the Ariel, I think you got to be wary of it. But we'll have to see how this turns out for the side of Periloot. They're going to go with the Greymane in response. They did still have last pick, did Icup, the benefit of Cho'Gall being on the other side, of course. So the Greymane, of course, can go with the Cursed Bullet, and they can look to try and isolate the Cho'Gall. But with Anubarak off the board, Web Wrap, that's a pretty big, deterrent. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how this works out. I do like the comp coming out from Icup a little bit more than Periloot's right now, but I just have a bias against Cho'Gall. Don't ask me why. Just go back and watch playoffs in season 4 for B West, and you'll understand. You'll understand it perfectly. B-Train, I'll see myself out now. Yeah, we got a Cho'Gall in the building. It's a thing. We're gonna do it. I like that, Bro Gall. It's pretty nice. The dab doesn't hurt either. Anyway, I'll be interested to see who can get the better of these team fights in the mid. Cho'Gall, of course, giving a lot of good poke, and is the numero uno in terms of hope generators for Ariel. Now, of course, there are no lack of different hope generators on the side of Periloot. Vala, very, very good hope generator. Artanis is going to be in the solo lane most of the match, but even if it was just Ariel and Artanis against the world, he's going to give back a decent amount too. So I'll be interested to see how that works out. Ariel's not been in the meta for quite a while, so maybe tonight's the comeback. And it does go with the Cho'Gall, but either way, we are loading in here for game number 1, Battlefield of Eternity. On the left, we're going to have Toasty playing the Greymane. Hello, going to be on the Tyrande. Argo Booster is going to be on the Hanzo. And holy cats, they're too close together. We got Carton on the Varian, and Sui going to be playing the Diablo. Meanwhile, on the right, Periloot, we've got Arc Valley going to be playing the Artanis. We've got Del Knight going to be on the Cho'Gall, Logic going to be on the Ariel, and Wafflecopter going to be on the Vala. So right away, this rotation to mid, could they be going after mid wall and well? I mean, they're just walking on down the mid lane, and they're gonna throw the sprays as they back out. This is very interesting. It's gonna spawn a 4v4 in the non-existent mid lane, and this is Battlefield of Eternity at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, let's be honest here. This is what this map was made for, and Periloot is on the response. And as if a Cho'Gall game couldn't get any more Monka. We're going to go ahead and get it started with a 5v5 brawl in the mid on Battlefield of Eternity. And Del Knight is in there, man. Going to get the Diablo, but going to pay with the double kill in response. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series, where literally anything can happen. I didn't see that one coming, but we got it. Looking at level 1 talents. High King's Quest coming out for Varian, which does suggest it's going to be that Windblades at level 4. Pretty standard otherwise, amateur opponent, totally what you would expect from Arc Valley here to start out, and that extra race potential. It's looking to be the Q build for Wafflecopter, trying to power up that Hungering Arrow. Diablo actually electing to go Feast or Fear, so I'll be interested to see how much extra value he gets out of that because of the Cho'Gall. I like the change up, but I don't play enough Diablo to know if it's worth. Let me know what you think out there. I will say this much though, Swill not going to be hungering for those globes throughout the game. And those taps, those well taps are definitely not going to be as strong. But right away, camp picked up in top by Arc Valley, and a quick rotation to the camp as well. So really good macro coming out early here from Periloot. Going to give them a little bit of an advantage going into this first map objective. Going to force Icup to either Oh, Argo Booster, very low. He's gonna have to back out and look to either tap or go back on this one. Wafflecopter doing a nice job applying that pressure and logic, just there with the heals. By the way, the side of Icup gonna have to choose whether they want to get the camp and have a slow rotation to the objective, which won't be too slow. They actually got the camp a little faster than I gave them credit for. Well, and then whether they want to clear or rotate straight to the objective, both teams actually going to be forced with that decision. And I like this call, both sides. Neither of them really prioritizing just yet, trying to get the Immortals. They're just out in lane. They're more macro-oriented to start. Del Knight's down to about half health, but Logic's got the heals coming. And again, you know, both teams kind of just hanging out in lane, getting the XP. We are going to see Icup rotating their two big damage dealers to it, though. And that's going to be halftime going decisively over to the side of Icup. And now we'll have our customary jockeying for position here post-halftime as the Immortals go to defensive positions. Argo Booster getting poked low. Carthen also in a lot of trouble, going to have to back out. It is indeed Windblades, by the way. Forgot to mention that from earlier, but Wafflecopter getting low on the backside, but there's lots of heals coming in from Logic. Going to keep him nice and alive. And first kill in this exchange. Not first blood, but first kill here. Going to go over to Periloot. And now the world is kind of their oyster right now. They can rotate around. They can try and defend here. Wafflecopter actually kind of low on mana, which is going to stifle his ability to give hope to Ario. But Greymane actually going down in the bot lane. The dive is real from Cho'Gall and Ario. Vala also falling now in the top. Action all over the place on this map. So right away, an exchange of the damage dealers as Periloot looks to try and defend what's left of their Immortal, which is not much, but Argo Booster is kind of built for this situation, built to be able to throw those arrows in from an angle and slowly chip away at it. I think they're going to rotate Vala. Actually, Vala's heading towards the top lane, might now be rotating into the mid. Could look to get a little bit of poke out on this, but meanwhile, Logic caught out here. Del Knight also is going to be in a world of hurt here, and it's going to go down. Wafflecopter can look to try and rotate to top now, but in the mid lane, Periloot's gonna definitely not get what they wanted out of that objective exchange. Full shield Immortal coming out now for Icup. And this is definitely the start that they wanted here. No doubt about it. So full shield Immortal gonna start chipping away on this bottom fort. They do have up in the top Varian. Wafflecopter with a very aggressive rotation. Swirl trying to make him pay for it, but Logic's got that full hope bar. Gonna be able to bring Wafflecopter right back up, and the zoning is good, but there's nobody up in top lane, so Icup getting a nice XP advantage, if nothing else, off of this. Shields are down on the Immortal. Arc Valley is trying to beat it up on the backside, but the fort is taking a lot of damage. Del Knight, though, put in a corner by Swill, is gonna go down, but they're gonna exchange the Greymane. And now on the chase is Periloot, as the Immortal is going to end up falling as it heads towards that front wall. But bottom fort is going to go down, and all the while, Carthen just doing his job up here in the top lane, getting work done, getting the XP, getting some damage out on this top front wall, and putting Icup on the right path here. 8-4 is the kill count. But that level lead, and now the level 10's coming in for the side of Icup. It's going to be Dragon's Arrow along with the Cursed Bullet. Pretty standard picks there, but 3 members still holding for Icup. They're going to end up going with the Apocalypse and the Shadow Stalk. The Apocalypse, a great potential combo with that Dragon's Arrow. And then it is going to be the charge here for Varian. Shadowstalk is going to be popped as they come in, get a little extra healing out. Level 10's now coming online for Periloot as well. up in the top lane. Arc Valley trying to find a cheeky swap into tower range, but not going to be quite on the mark there. As the camp pushes in and Carthen looks to get more of an advantage. Swirl getting caught out here, and we're actually going to see a Diablo going down here. Arrow comes out, but APOC not going to be available to respond. And Del Knight actually getting very low. Gonna have to back up for the moment. Let Wafflecopter let Logic heal them back up here. It's a long chain to getting Cho'Gall back that health, but they are looking to be aggressive here onto this camp invade. Swill actually gets a little bit of an angle there on Logic. Oh man, and that Lunar Flare was so close. I think that might have been enough to finish it off, especially with Carthen rotating in from the top, but Periloot, very risky business here. They didn't get a pick on any of that, but they're choosing to stick around here, trying to harass. Swap in onto Swill, though. Charge on the backside, though, to get out. Wafflecopter charging in, trying to get the damage out, but not quite going to find it. Camp is stolen away, or is captured back, I should say, from Icup, so they're going to have that, along with that top camp still pushing, but Diablo ends up falling, so it's a 2-for-0 as Logic just keeps healing them all up. He keeps everybody alive. They're even going to stay here to clear this. Is this an overextension? As Toasty looking to try and make something happen. Logic, the last to turn the corner, going to have to self-Aegis. We'll be able to heal on the way out of there, though. Lunar Flare not quite finding the mark as two members are coming back. I was really worried for Logic there. I thought for sure Logic was going to end up going down. Meanwhile, the battle rages on, but quick rotation from Periloot. They're going to take their prize, but the members of Icup are back alive here. Arrow going to split up the members of Periloot, but ends up overall missing. Charge in onto Logic, and the combo to follow up. The stun comes down. This time the Lunar Flare right on point. Cho'Gall goes down. Ariel goes down. Artanis, and there is Icup with a team fight they sorely needed in this situation. It looked for a second there like Periloot was going to start turning it around, but look at the wave down here. Swill even going to come in to try and help push this along and get a couple extra souls out of it. But a couple catapults, these occasional catapults, building up here in the bot while the rest of the members of Icup go ahead and score the Immortal. And now Swill's got to be a little bit careful. The members are coming. And actually, he's not afraid of Wafflecopter. Gonna go in on him as the members are coming out, but is Swill gone too far? Charge in, and Vala is gonna go down. Swill blinded on the backside, but makes it out. And so it ends up being Vala that's extended too far. Toasty is gonna get hit by that swap from Arc Valley. Swill trying to be back and barely makes it out. Oh man. We're gonna have the Shadow Volley not quite finding any real damage. Meanwhile, all the while the Immortal's up in top lane just pushing away at these structures. The turn is real. Artanis goes down. Logic is next. I don't see Del Knight getting out of this either. And holy cow, Toasty, calm down, my friend. Triple kill. Vala is up in top. She's got good burn on the Immortal, but the Immortal still taking down a good chunk of the front wall while the rest of the members of Icup are in there, grabbing the bottom keep. The blinds come out, but gonna be too late to even phase the members of Icup in their pursuit to take that keep down. And now quick rotation to the mid. We're gonna go ahead and grab away the camp. So right now, I think they're coming up all Icup right now on this map. Del Knight looking to try and force. Shadow Volley is popped. And we're going to see the pursuit, but a huge cursed bullet coming out there from Toasty. The swap is good on Bavarian, though. He's going to end up going down. Arrow to disengage from Argo Booster. Is getting a lot of damage out with the arrow, but Logic's going to be just fine. And big pick there right before 16. Periloot able to force, but 15 or so seconds before Varian's able to get back in. They tried to split up to get wave clear and camps. Argo Booster's in a little bit of trouble. Very nice rain coming down from Wafflecopter, and it's going to be just enough damage to take him out. Camp stolen. Meanwhile, on the other side, Camp taken, and this is a 3v3, but no healer here. Molten is going to come down, and they actually get the Tyrande kill, but they're going to end up paying 1 for 3 in that scenario. And again, Icup coming up with a very nice trade. And down comes Logic and Wafflecopter. They may look to try and make something happen. But ultimately, it's going to end up being a 2v3. Battles going on everywhere. This thing has turned into full fiesta mode here on Battlefield of Eternity. Level 16 is in for Icup right now, though. Swill trying to track down the members of Periloot, but good poke in response here. I'm going to go ahead and back up as they don't have Tyrande. Don't want to risk the damage coming out. Nice chunk by Periloot, though. You have to clear out the bot lane at some point here, though. Looks like they may elect to just give up halftime to the members of Icup so that they can try to make something happen with that. The pokes are coming out, though. Logic actually ends up eating that, and Hello gets stunned by the whip, but is able to just barely step away before the Immortal stun comes out. Bottom lane cleared out enough that all 5 members of Periloot are here. Or, you know, 4 with 2 heads, if you will. Arc Valley looking for a decent swap opportunity, but gonna go ahead and back up. I like this call to force the members of Icup to come in a little bit further, but they do have good poke on the Immortal, so they really can't afford to do this forever. The Arrow and the APOC are gonna come in. Icup's gonna force this fight, but 16 is here for Periloot. They have all of their talents in as well, and Varian and Artanis, the 2 bruisers, gonna be traded out to start things off, but Toasty's on the backside getting work done. The Aegis is gonna save Logic for the moment, but soon after, it's gonna end up falling, and Varian's gonna be the only kill that Periloot gets in response as all 5 members go down. A mega kill coming out for Icup, and now Icup's gonna go ahead and get on to the Immortal, and this, I believe, is what they call the beginning of the end. The Immortal will be marching in the top lane. Honestly, I think Icup could have possibly just gone straight to core. They don't have the best. They don't have the best siege damage. They do have Toasty on the Greymane. Hanzo's siege damage is almost 0, though. So having the Immortal here with half shield is going to be very, very nice for them. They also have a catapult in top. They have things building up in bottom that Periloot's going to have to respond to. And defenses don't get much tougher than this in terms of having to try and defend your core here. I like Icup being patient with this, though. They know they have the Immortal, and it's going to chunk the core. They don't have to go in deep. The Arrow will end up whiffing there. Nice